What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Doing the Highland Park Valknut. So this is a continuation of the Viking Legend releases. Last year was Valkyrie, and this year's is Valknut. They've increased the ABV a full percent, so this one is 46.8%. I think last year's was 45.7, so it's 1.1% higher. And this one has been aged in American oak, seasoned with sherry, I believe. And then they boast about an additional amount of peat in this one. So it's a little bit higher in ppm, probably around the 10 to 20 range. So not much higher, but a little bit higher than usual. Valknut means not of those slain in battle. They're continuing with this Viking theme. I like it. Some people don't love it, but I think it's kind of cool. I think it's very cool to honor the history of that land. The Orkney Islands, they apparently have one of the most abundant amount of artifacts and Viking history on that island. So I think that's very, very cool, and why not run with that theme? Let's talk about this whiskey. So you do get a little bit more peat than your usual Highland Park right off the hop. And you get a lot of sherry as well. And you get a little bit of brininess, which Highland Park is known for. Really nice. I'm going to assume that this is going to go for around $100 at the LCBO. Maybe a little bit less. Alright, it hasn't been released yet, nor has the Macallan Classic Cut that I reviewed earlier this week. Or well, I released earlier this week anyway. So, you can tell it's American oak because it's not as spicy. On the sweet side, it's got that nice peat smoke, which kind of turns into like an espresso type note. Cam Miller, the ambassador for Highland Park and Macallan, that takes care of my area, was like, "What do you think about that espresso note on the back end?" And at first I wasn't picking it up, but as soon as he said espresso, it's like it just made sense to me. It was like that math problem where you're trying to solve it, and then all of a sudden you get the answer, and it makes so much more sense. Yeah, so you definitely get a ton of espresso on the palate. Not so much on the nose, but on the palate. This whiskey speaks to me. Honestly, it's got the peatiness that I like. It's actually at a ppm that I think, or that I wish anyway, Highland Park would use more often. It's got the saltiness. It's sweet from the sherry. Just beautiful stuff. I want to double check that it is indeed American oak, but I'm almost certain, based on the taste and from what I've researched. Maturation in the finest American oak, rich, heathery peat from Hobbister Moor enhances sweet notes absorbed from these fine sherry seasoned casks. So there it is. And then they also want to point out that they're using tartan barley for this one, which is directly from Orkney. Alright, so I think that's pretty cool as well. It's not a ton of tartan barley, but there's a percentage of it, which I don't know if that's done very often, but there is something special about this whiskey. That's beautiful. It's excellent stuff. When it opens up, it's even better. You don't have to add a drop of water to it. 46.8% is exactly where it should be. Unchill filter, no added color, all the things that you're looking for in a whiskey. It doesn't have an age statement on it. I'm going to say that that's at least 12 years old. It could be a little bit younger. Like the majority of this whiskey is no less than 12 in my opinion. I could be wrong, but peat can kind of trick you into thinking it's a little older than it actually is. That's excellent stuff. That's an A+. I got this bottle for free. A lot of people are going to hear this and think maybe he's a little bit biased. I love Highland Park. I pay for almost every single bottle of Highland Park that I've ever received. I think this might be the second Highland Park bottle that I got for free, and I've reviewed a ton of it. So I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart that this is excellent stuff. I have no issue recommending this to people because it's probably going to be in the $100 range. Even if it goes up to about $160, $170, I think it's still worth it at that point. It's excellent stuff. It might be even worth more than that. It's hard to put a dollar amount on worth, but fantastic stuff. It's exactly what a peat guy is looking for. It's exactly what a person that loves Highland Park is looking for. If you don't love peat, you might not like this one. So there's your disclaimer right there. That's an A+. It's probably a 91. I could probably give this a bit more, but I think that's a fair score. I think 91 is a fair score. I think if I get halfway down this bottle and it improves drastically, I'll have to reassess it, and I'll let you guys know what I reassess it as in a live. But right now that's a 91, and it's got some, like, it would only go north from there, not south. So really, really nice stuff. You guys definitely need to pick this one up, okay? Guys, I'm going to put a link to Patreon in the description below. You guys can help support the channel, help build this set that I have going on right now. We're actually painting right now, so the room's not going to be this color for very long. I don't think I'm going to keep the setup here for much longer, but we'll see how long it takes to finish the basement. There's a lot of costs in moving. Some are a little bit unanticipated, I guess you can say. So it's going to be a while before I have a full bar in the basement with Whiskey in the Six running out of there. But until then, I want to say thank you guys for all your current support. And if you'd like to, you can check me out on Patreon as well. Cheers, guys.